Archangel Michael says, "Congratulations." Archangel Michael says, "You will be very happy tonight because God is giving you that one thing. Open it now. If you ignore this, you'll miss it." That single hope you've carried through restless nights, that silent prayer whispered between tears, He heard it. And now, heaven leans closer to you. This is not just another moment passing by, it is an answer that arrives softly, yet powerfully, through the loving hands of God who never forgets His children. The Lord never abandons a heart that trusts Him, and this evening, a divine gift is unfolding in your life, not by accident, but by promise. Type 444 if you believe. There is something beautiful about the stillness of night when all the noise of the world fades, and the only thing left is the quiet echo of your soul reaching for God. That's when He speaks the loudest. When the world dims its light, heaven begins to glow. Tonight is one of those moments. The kind that wraps your heart in peace, not because your problems disappeared, but because God steps into the middle of them with you, whispering, "I am here." And that one thing you've needed so deeply, be it healing, restoration, forgiveness, or a fresh beginning, is gently placed into your life, not by chance, but by love. Maybe you've been walking through a season of waiting, where each step feels like a question without an answer. Perhaps your faith has been stretched thin, and you've quietly wondered if heaven still remembers your name. But this is what I need you to know: God has never once taken His eyes off you. He's been walking beside you through every shadow, holding every tear you never showed the world, and now, His hand is reaching forward with a blessing tailor-made for your heart. It doesn't have to be loud to be holy. It doesn't need fireworks to be miraculous. It just needs to be from Him, and it is. There are moments when life feels too heavy to carry. Maybe your heart has broken in ways you've never admitted out loud. But here's the truth that breathes life into every weary place: Jesus knows. He knows the weight you bear, the thoughts that keep you up, and the ache you hide behind smiles. He isn't far. He is near, even when you don't feel it. Tonight, He steps into your story not to observe, but to embrace, to lift, and to heal. He's not coming with judgment, but with gentleness. He brings grace, not because you've earned it, but because you're His. Type 999" if you trust in God. There is something so deeply comforting in remembering that Jesus never once turned away from the broken, the tired, or the forgotten. His arms were always wide enough for the weary, and His voice was always kind enough for the hurting. He never asked for perfection, only a heart willing to be loved. So if tonight finds you feeling unsure, unworthy, or undone, let this be your reminder that His love is still reaching, still holding, still inviting you home. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. You may not see the full picture yet, but heaven has already drawn it. You may not understand why certain paths were allowed to twist, or why some dreams seem to fall apart, but God wastes nothing. Every broken part is being redeemed. Every unanswered prayer is being rewritten into something more beautiful than you imagined. He's been preparing something better, not because he didn't hear you before, but because he knew exactly when you'd need it most. And now, in this quiet moment, with the stars watching and your soul wide open, the Lord places His promise gently into your life: I am giving you that one thing. Not just to bring you happiness for a night, but to remind you of who He is forever. A faithful Father. A compassionate Shepherd. A healing Savior. And this is only the beginning. Let tonight be the moment you finally rest in the truth that God's timing is always perfect, His ways are always good, and His love never misses its mark. You are not late to your blessing, and you are not forgotten in your waiting. You are being held, guided, and gifted by the same hands that formed the stars and calmed the seas. And what He is giving you now, this one thing, is only the start of a deeper joy that can never be taken from you. This is not about deserving. It's about receiving. Not because you have everything figured out, but because God's love has already made a way. It reaches deeper than your doubts and lifts higher than your fears. Tonight, the door opens. The burden lifts. The silence breaks. And what you have longed for begins to unfold, not just before your eyes, but within your spirit. So breathe. Let go of the weight you've been holding. Allow yourself to believe again. Because the Lord who sees all, knows all, and loves you most, is moving in your life. And tonight, heaven rejoices, not because you've done something great, but because you are His, and He delights in blessing His children. It might not come the way you imagined it would, and it may not look like what you pictured, but it will be exactly what your soul needs. Sometimes, what we ask for and what we truly need are not the same, and God, in His mercy, always chooses what is best for us. Type 222 if you believe this is your time. There are seasons where nothing makes sense, when even your prayers feel unanswered, and you walk forward more from habit than hope. Maybe that's been your season. Maybe you felt invisible, or like you've been doing everything right and still things fall apart. But what you didn't see, what heaven saw, was how your faith stayed alive even when it flickered. How your heart kept trusting even through pain. And that faith, that unseen courage, that silent strength, is what God honors now. You have not been walking alone, not for a single step. There were moments when you thought you had no strength left, but you still stood. There were nights your heart broke in silence, and still, you hoped. The world didn't see those battles, but heaven did. And tonight, God responds, not just to your words, but to the posture of your heart. He sees what no one else sees. The endurance, the kindness, the small acts of love you gave without expecting anything in return. These are the moments that moved His heart. These are the reasons why now, in His perfect time, He is blessing you. This blessing is not just about ease or comfort. It's about healing places inside you that have been aching for far too long. It's about rebuilding what was broken, mending what was torn, and filling the empty spaces with peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. What God is giving you is not temporary. It is lasting. It is rooted in love, born of faith, and sealed with His promise that He is always for you and never against you. Think of the times Jesus walked with those who were broken, uncertain, and rejected. He didn't choose the strongest or the most put together. He chose the ones who needed love the most. He sat with the ones the world forgot. He lifted the ones who had no voice. He restored what others thought was ruined. And that same Jesus walks with you now. Not just beside you, but within your story, your pain, and your promise. He knows where you've been, and He knows where He's leading you next. You may feel small, but in His eyes, you are treasured. You may feel like you've failed too many times, but His grace says otherwise. You may believe the best is behind you, but God says He's just getting started. The future He has for you is not empty. It is not quiet. It is filled with new beginnings, renewed strength, and joy that cannot be stolen. And this night is sacred, because this is when heaven begins to reveal what's been waiting for you. Type 555 to claim your breakthrough tonight. Do not let your heart be troubled if the blessing comes through a door you didn't expect. God rarely moves the way we predict, but He always moves in love. Sometimes, the greatest answers come disguised in simplicity. A phone call, a whisper in prayer, a gentle nudge in your spirit, all can be the beginning of a miracle. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit ready. Your part is not to force anything but to believe, to remain soft even when life feels hard, and to keep turning toward Him even when you're tired. The enemy will try to distract you, discourage you, and convince you that nothing is changing. But this is not the time to give up. This is the time to hold on even tighter to what God promised you. Let your thoughts be filled with hope, not fear. Let your hands remain open, not clenched in worry. There is power in surrendering to His will. There is peace in knowing that what is meant for you will find you, not because you chased it, but because you trusted Him. Let your faith rise like the morning sun. Even when clouds try to hide it, it still shines. Even when life tries to dim your light, His love keeps you glowing. The road ahead will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Each step will carry you closer to the fullness of what God has planned. And when you feel unsure, remember that the same God who kept you through every storm will guide you through every new season. He is not only the God of the mountaintop but the one who walks with you through the valleys. He doesn't love you more when you succeed or less when you fall. His love is steady, patient, and unconditional. It's the kind of love that redeems even the messiest stories and turns them into something beautiful. It's the kind of love that restores what was taken, multiplies what was lost, and blesses what felt forgotten. So as you rest tonight, know this: heaven is not far. Angels surround you. The Holy Spirit whispers peace over your heart. And Jesus, gentle, kind, and powerful, is interceding for you. The door you've been waiting for is being unlocked. What the enemy tried to steal, your joy, your trust, your sense of worth, God is giving back to you in a way so complete, so gentle, and so full of love, you will know it could only come from Him. It's not a coincidence you're reading this. It's not just a message, it's a moment. A holy moment that opens a door your heart has been knocking on for a very long time. Type 1919 to receive miracles. God knows every quiet ache you've kept hidden beneath your strength. He knows about the days you smiled while your heart trembled and the nights you laid awake wondering if the pain would ever lift. He knows how hard you've tried, how many times you've chosen faith even when fear tried to speak louder. Nothing you've faced has gone unnoticed by heaven. Nothing you've endured has been in vain. Everything is being woven together, every tear, every waiting season, every prayer whispered in the dark, to create a blessing so personal, it will feel like it was written only for you. Jesus walks closely with those who feel forgotten. His presence never demands attention, but he fills every empty space with quiet comfort. When he arrives, there is no thunder, only peace. He doesn't need to prove himself with signs and wonders to be trusted, but he still performs them every day in ways only the heart can recognize. That unexpected phone call. That moment of peace in the middle of chaos. That word of kindness from a stranger. That quiet thought that brings tears and comfort at the same time. These are not small things. These are traces of his nearness. The truth is simple: you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. This is how he works, not always with noise or spectacle, but with grace that meets you in your deepest need. And now, that grace is stretching out to you. That one thing you thought would never change is already shifting. That pain you thought you had to carry forever is loosening. That door you believed was sealed for good is beginning to open. Don't rush it. Just rest in him. You're not being asked to fix everything or figure it all out. You're being invited to trust. To lean. To believe that you are seen, known, and loved by the one who holds all things together. You've walked through fire, but it didn't destroy you. You've been in the storm, but it didn't drown you. And now you stand at the edge of something new. What's coming isn't delayed, and it isn't being withheld. It's being timed. Heaven doesn't operate on human clocks. God sees your life from beginning to end, and he never forgets a single detail. What he said he would do, he will do. Not in your time, but in his, and his timing is always the best, because it never arrives a second too soon or a moment too late. Type yes to affirm what's already yours by faith. You're not just hoping anymore, you're standing in the middle of a promise being fulfilled. The healing has already begun. The shift is already taking place. What felt stuck is starting to move. What felt impossible is being made possible, not by effort, but by faith. And not by your strength, but by God's love for you. A love that never grows tired. A love that doesn't fade. A love that meets you as you are and never leaves you unchanged. Think back to how far you've come. You are not the same person you were last year, last month, or even last week. Every step, even the ones that felt backwards, has brought you closer to this moment. The lessons you learned through pain have given you a softer heart, a deeper strength, and a clearer view of who God really is. He's not distant or angry. He's not waiting for you to fail. He's been walking beside you, crying with you, holding you, and waiting patiently for the right time to unfold what he's been preparing. Let yourself believe that good things are meant for you too. Let your heart open enough to receive what God is offering. This blessing, this one thing He is giving, is not something you have to earn or deserve. It's something you just need to receive. His love has already qualified you. His mercy has already chosen you. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are exactly where you need to be to receive exactly what He has for you. And when it comes, when that moment unfolds before you and your eyes finally see what your heart has always known, you will feel the overwhelming peace of God washing over everything. You will look back and understand why it had to take time. Why certain doors had to close. Why you had to wait. Because what God gives is always better than what you thought you needed. It's always fuller, deeper, richer. Not because you planned it, but because He did. So tonight, breathe easy. You don't have to hold it all together anymore. You don't have to pretend to be strong. You can just be. Be real, be open, be honest, and let God do what only He can. Let His Spirit comfort you. Let His promises settle over you like a blanket. Let His love calm your thoughts. And let this truth echo through your soul: something beautiful is being released into your life, not because of what you've done, but because of who God is. It carries the quiet power of answered prayers, of long-awaited peace, of healing flowing into places no one else even knew were hurting. God is stepping in, and He is doing it gently, tenderly, and completely. Type 1212 if you walk by faith and not by sight. You may not realize it yet, but something within you is already changing. The burdens that once felt unbearable are beginning to lighten, not because the weight disappeared, but because God is lifting them off your shoulders. He never asked you to carry it all alone. He never meant for you to stay exhausted, emotionally worn, or spiritually drained. That's why, tonight, He is offering you something new. A release. A renewal. A beginning that comes softly but carries the strength of heaven behind it. This is not just about receiving a blessing. It's about being reminded of who you truly are in Christ. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are not too far gone. You are God's beloved, called by name, known in every detail, and cradled in grace you didn't even know you needed. He has watched you through sleepless nights and silent tears. He has seen the moments when you wanted to give up, yet still chose to hope. And that kind of faith, quiet, persistent, unshaken by the noise of the world, is precious to Him. Your life might not look the way you imagined, and some dreams may have faded along the way, but nothing is over. Not in God's hands. His plans are not bound by your mistakes or limited by your fears. He is the one who brings life out of dead places and light into the darkest corners. When He says, "I'm giving you that one thing," He means something greater than a single wish come true. He means healing that lasts. Restoration that reaches your soul. Joy that doesn't leave when circumstances change. Type 333 if you believe something holy is on its way to you. This 9-word phrase was once buried under government secrecy, but now it's resurfacing, sparking a global wave of prosperity stories. Experts reveal it reactivates a money magnet section of your brain most people never use. Say it once daily and watch financial blocks vanish. But this page could vanish too. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. Let your heart be still for a moment. Let the distractions fall away. Let the world's noise fade into the background. In this sacred stillness, feel the nearness of the Holy Spirit, hovering not above you, but around you, within you, speaking in the quiet language of peace. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to try harder. You don't need a perfect prayer. Just open your heart. Whisper His name. That is enough. He meets you in your openness. He fills the spaces where words fall short. He understands even the prayers you don't know how to say. Sometimes we think of miracles as loud, dramatic moments, but most of God's greatest works begin in silence. The whisper of peace after a storm. The strength to rise when no one else sees. The decision to forgive when it still hurts. These are miracles too, and they are just as holy. Tonight, your miracle may not shout, but it will arrive. You'll feel it in your spirit before it ever shows up in your circumstances. That inner calm, that sense of being held, that gentle confidence that everything is about to change, those are the signs that heaven is near. And when God gives, He doesn't give halfway. He doesn't patch things up temporarily. He rebuilds from the inside out. He restores with care. He redeems what felt wasted. He uses everything. Even your pain. Even your silence. Even your past. Nothing is too broken for Him. He sees beauty where others see failure. He sees potential where others see ruin. And more than anything, He sees you. The real you. The you that still believes in love, still reaches for hope, still carries light, even when surrounded by darkness. There is no shame in needing help. There is no weakness in asking God for something more. You are His child, and He delights in giving good gifts. You're not a burden to Him. You're not asking for too much. In fact, He already planned this blessing before you even asked. He knew the exact moment your heart would be ready to receive it. And that moment is now. Right now. As you sit with your thoughts and read these words, God is moving behind the scenes, rearranging things, touching hearts, and making a way. Your story doesn't end in sorrow. It doesn't end in confusion or loss. Your story ends in light. In restoration. In joy so deep, it silences the pain that came before it. And tonight, God begins writing that chapter, not with ink, but with grace. He is turning the page for you, gently, lovingly, making sure you're ready for what comes next. And what comes next will be better, fuller, and more beautiful than you dared to imagine. Let go of the need to understand everything. Let go of the pressure to be strong all the time. Let go of the belief that God's love depends on your behavior. It doesn't. He loves you now. Right here. As you are. And He is blessing you, not because you earned it, but because you are His. The one thing you've longed for is coming not as a reward, but as a gift. Freely given. Perfectly timed. Wrapped in mercy. And once it arrives, you will know without a doubt, it could only have been God. So rest easy. Lean in. And let this be the night you stop waiting for permission to believe in miracles. Let it be the night you let go of fear and take hold of faith. Let it be the night you realize that God's promises are not empty words, they are living truths. And they are being fulfilled in your life, even now. And now, that one thing you thought was too far gone, too delayed, or too impossible, is being released into your life, not by chance, but by a divine decision made out of pure love. Type 666 if you trust Jesus with your heart. Every moment you held on, even with trembling hands, counted. Every time you resisted the urge to quit, even when nothing made sense, heaven noticed. It wasn't just strength, it was a holy surrender. And surrender is the language of miracles. It is in that place of letting go where God takes over. And when He does, it's never small, it's never rushed, and it's never shallow. What He gives lasts, because what He gives comes from the very core of who He is, everlasting, faithful, and good. If you're tired, it's okay. If you feel like you've been waiting forever, it's alright to admit that. God is not disappointed in you. He is not keeping score of your struggles. He is drawing near with compassion, not criticism. His Spirit wraps around your tired mind and heavy heart like a soft blanket, warming the cold places with truth. You are not forgotten. I am still working. I am still with you. Some prayers take time not because God is distant, but because He is making sure everything aligns perfectly. His delays are not denials, they are preparations. He knows what's on the other side of your waiting. He knows the hearts involved, the timing that protects, and the path that will bring the most lasting peace. When you don't see it, He's still arranging it. And while you rest, He continues to weave threads of grace into every part of your life. This gift, this answer, this healing, this door, is not arriving empty. It carries purpose. It comes with joy. It brings with it the very presence of the Lord. Sometimes, the thing you're waiting for isn't just a change in your circumstances, it's a shift in your spirit. A quiet return to hope. A softening of heart. A deeper sense of security in God's promises. And from that space, all other things begin to bloom. It's okay if others don't understand what God is doing in your life. Not everyone will see the transformation immediately. Some may even question your joy. But remember this, when Jesus touches a heart, it doesn't always come with loud announcements. It often begins in private, in silence, in that sacred space between you and Him. Let your faith be enough. Let your peace be your testimony. Let your joy be the quiet answer to every doubt. Type 2323 if you agree that God's timing is always perfect. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. Sometimes we hold on to things so tightly, believing we have to control the outcome. But the more we release it to God, the more He reveals that His way is kinder, softer, and wiser than anything we could have planned. It's not weakness to let go. It's trust. And trust invites miracles. It clears space for grace. It allows God to move without limits. The thing you've longed for, whether it's healing in your body, restoration in a relationship, financial peace, clarity, direction, or simply rest, is not too much for Him. He already knows the details. He already has the outcome written. He is not trying to figure it out, He already has. Your role is not to fix it. Your role is to stay close, to keep your heart open, and to believe that He is good even when the way feels unclear. There is no pain too deep that His love can't reach it. There is no fear so big that His peace can't silence it. There is no sin so heavy that His mercy can't forgive it. That one thing you thought was lost forever is already being restored, and it's being done with more beauty, more strength, and more depth than you imagined possible. What God returns, He multiplies. What He heals, He makes whole. Tonight, let every doubt rest. Let every anxious thought fall quiet. Let every burden slide off your shoulders and into the hands that formed the stars. You were not created to live in fear. You were not born to be stuck in sorrow. You were made for joy, for peace, for communion with God. And that communion is always available, right here, right now, in this breath, in this moment, in the presence of the one who never lets go. Jesus doesn't require that you come to Him perfectly. He just asks that you come. Bring your tired, your scared, your overwhelmed heart. He will never turn you away. He will not shame you for struggling. He welcomes you as you are. And in His presence, healing begins, not just in your circumstances, but deep within your spirit, where true change lives. Let this be the night you stop carrying what you were never meant to carry. Let it be the night you say, God, I trust you with what I don't understand. And in that whisper of surrender, feel the peace that has been waiting for you. It's not an idea or a dream, it's real. And it's yours. Because you are His. Tomorrow, something will feel different. Maybe the problem won't vanish, but your heart will see it through new eyes. Maybe the answer won't come wrapped in gold, but it will arrive gently, with peace as its sign. And you will know, without a shadow of a doubt, that God has moved. That your prayer was heard. That your wait was not in vain. And that this moment, is the beginning of everything changing. The blessing is no longer a distant promise, it is approaching quietly, tenderly, and with the full intention of God's heart behind it. You are not here by accident. You are reading this because heaven wants you to feel what has always been true: you are seen, you are held, and something good is on its way. Type Amen if you believe God is doing something new in your life. There have been days when the struggle was silent, when you felt like no one could understand the weight you carried, and you questioned if your quiet prayers would ever rise above the noise of life. But not a single tear was ever missed. Not a single word whispered in pain went unheard. God has been closer than your breath, collecting every silent ache, and storing every cry as seeds of miracles waiting to bloom. And now, the rain of mercy is falling. Slowly. softly, but surely. You may have thought that the things you lost were gone forever. Opportunities, friendships, joy. But what you thought was the end was only the beginning of a divine rebuilding. God is not just returning what you lost, He is transforming it. The ashes you stood in will become beauty in His time. What once brought you sorrow will now become the reason for your praise. And this restoration is not small. It will touch every corner of your heart that you thought would never feel whole again. It's okay if you're still unsure. God is not looking for perfect faith. He's simply asking you to keep your heart open, to keep trusting, to keep walking, one quiet step at a time. Because that one thing you've asked Him for, the healing, the peace, the breakthrough, it's already on the way. And it's not late. It's arriving at the perfect moment, just when your heart is ready to carry it with grace and gratitude. This miracle is not just about solving a problem. It's about awakening your spirit, reminding you who you are in Him. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not stuck. You are His. Fully, completely, eternally His. And the more you rest in that truth, the more you'll begin to see His hand in everything. In the quiet. In the waiting. In the detours. In the moments that made no sense at all, He was always working. Type 2020 to claim the miracle waiting just for you. When God moves, it may not come with thunder or fireworks. Sometimes, it's in the softening of your own heart. Sometimes, it's the release of an old burden you didn't even know you were still carrying. Sometimes, it's a new sense of peace that has no reason except that Jesus is near. These are the gentle signs of grace unfolding. And if you look closely, you'll see that He's been showing you all along that your story is far from over. The struggles you faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. You've grown through so much. You've survived things you never thought you would. You've kept walking when you could have given up. And even in the moments when you doubted yourself, when your faith shook and your hope flickered, you were still moving forward. That kind of endurance is not weak, it's holy. That quiet resilience is not overlooked in heaven, it is celebrated. And now, the reward of that long journey is being handed to you in the form of God's favor. Tonight, heaven leans closer. Angels surround you. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you belong to. And the one you belong to never breaks His promises. He doesn't abandon what He starts. If He brought you this far, He will finish what He began. The road ahead may still have turns, but you won't walk it alone. You never have. And you never will. Take a moment and breathe. Let go of the fear that things won't change. Let go of the lie that you missed your moment. Let go of the burden of having to figure it all out. God already has. The pieces are falling into place even now. Doors are opening. Hearts are softening. Paths are clearing. And in the middle of it all, your heart is being prepared to receive what God has kept safe just for you. The wait wasn't a punishment, it was protection. The delay wasn't a denial, it was alignment. God wasn't withholding from you, He was building something better. And now, that better is finally becoming visible. Slowly at first, like light breaking through fog, but then clearer and clearer until all that was once uncertain begins to make sense in the light of His perfect timing. Don't rush this. Let it unfold the way heaven intended. Trust the process, even when it's quiet. Hold on to peace, even when questions remain. Because what's coming will not be small. It will not be temporary. It will not be fragile. It will be strong. It will be deep. It will carry the fingerprints of a God who writes redemption into every story, including yours. And when it arrives, you will look back not with regret, but with awe. You'll see how every broken place was healed. How every lonely season brought you closer to Him. How every delay was a setup for something greater. And you'll know, with tears in your eyes and joy in your soul, that it was always worth the wait. He is reaching into the deepest places of your soul, the places where silence once echoed and hope felt too fragile to hold. And into those quiet, wounded spaces, He is pouring light, healing, and a love so gentle it brings you to tears without needing to say a word. That one thing you've been waiting for is not just coming, it's coming wrapped in peace, in purpose, and in the presence of Jesus Himself. Type 1111 if you trust in God's timing and promise.